Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvatam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitasya He Krishna Karuna Sindha Dīnabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayine Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyan Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Janmadhyasya yato anvayaditaratas Charthe subhijya swarat Tene brahma hridaya adikavaye Muhyanti yat surayah Tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo Yatra trisargo mrisha Dhamna svena sada niraste kuhakam Satyam param dhimahi Narayanam namaskritya Naranchaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudiraet Swasti astu vishvasya khalaha prasidatam Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya Manascha bhadram bhajatadadhokshaje Avishyatam no matirapyaituki Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 13, beginning from verse 46. So we read how Brahma he came after one truti of his time, which I don't know how is it possible, because one truti is a very small fraction of a second. But that's what it says. And he was very astonished to see the boys and cows as he has left, and he went back and he deliberated. So he was unable to ascertain what actually has happened. And then Sri Sukadeva Goswami described that he was trying to confuse or bewilder Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who is Vimoha, which is free from all moha or delusion, and he himself is called Vishwamohan, or who bewilders everybody by his maya, by his beauty. So hasa jano unmod kari cha maya. Krishna's smile itself is called Maya. Because if he smiles, means something is mysterious. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Senyorobhyor madhye smaniva bharata. That he spoke to Arjuna in the midst of both armies as if smiling. Means there was something mysterious. He was not smiling, but so his smile is called Jana Unmodakari. It's Unmadkari, both. It gives pleasure, it also deludes. So therefore he is called Vishwamohana, or who deludes the whole world or everybody. So Brahma tried his strength with him. So if a weak person fights with a strong person, and strong person does not have to utilize all his might to defeat the small one, but the small person has to use all his power to defeat him, and in the process he will get fatigued, and it may be just warm up for the strong person. So therefore it is said that he himself got bewildered by Krishna's Maya. And then he gave the example. So now when he was there in the sky like this, then Krishna manifested his further Aishwarya. So he says, Tavat sarve vatsapalaha pashyato jasya takshanat vedrishyante ghanashyama pitakoshe vasasaha. So at that time, when he was just looking like this, then what happened is that all the Vatspala here refers to both Vatsa and their palas, calves and their protectors, cowherd boys. So just when he was looking at them, then all of them, in just a moment, they all appeared like Vishnu, every one of them. So this is most astonishing thing which can happen. Nobody has seen so many Vishnus in one place. So they were all Ghanshama, blackish in color, and Peet Koshe Vasasa. They are having yellow silk garment. So that's how they appear to him. So Tavaditi Yavadeva Brahma Mimansamano Vemuhyati Smaithirtha. So Tavat at that time means, because Tavat and Yavat they go together. So Yavat is not mentioned here. So just then, when. So when he was thinking, considering what is happening, just at that moment this happened. He was doing Mimansa. So Vatsa Palascha Pashyato Ajasya Pashyantam api ajam anadrityate. So it is not that Brahma, he closed his eyes. Like when you want to do some magic, you say, okay, close your eyes. And then you open your eyes and you see something very astonishing. So Brahma did not close his eyes. The magic happened right in front of his eyes. So he says that when he was looking at calves and cowherd boys, just at that time, so it signifies that not caring for him means not having any regard for his presence, although he is Aja. So Aja signifies something wonderful, great, unborn, Ajasya, not an ordinary person. So Ajasya api ajam anadritya iti artha. Bho satyaloka vasin aja Sattvam Tvam Aja eva asi. So it is as if Krishna was saying that, O Aja, you come from Satyaloka, you are really an Aja. So what does it mean, really an Aja? Aja also means goat. Means you are just a goat, don't have much intelligence. So that's why it says Aja. Aja means unborn, Aja means goat. So Satyam Tvam Aja Evasi. Truly you are an Aja. Idrishi eva buddhya vishwam srijasi. He says, with this goat buddhi, goat intelligence, you create the world. What is this? So asman maya mohitum ichchasi. And with your goat intelligence, you want to bewilder me? How will that happen? So kathanchit gyatum tavan na shaknosi. So therefore, with this goat intelligence, it is not possible for you to know me. Because Krishna says, I am the real Aja, Ajopi Asam Avyatma Bhutanam Ishwaropishan. So, Pashya iti Yadrishyante Vayam Vrindavaniya Strinam Charanto Vatsapi Vatsanscharyanto Gopbalapi eva Bhavama iti Gyapyante eva Tadrishti Gochara Swameva Bhuvan Swaprakashatvat. So he says, look, you are looking, and we are just common Vrindavan people. You come from Satyaloka, right? And we are people of this village here. And just see now. And we are even calves eating grass. You are goat, we are cows. So goat cannot understand a calf. We are also eating grass. So he says, Trinam charanto vatsapi. So even the calves which are eating the grass. And vatsan charyanto gopbalapi. And cowherd boys are not more intelligent. They wander behind the goats, the calves. So if you live with calves, you are like calf. Simple, no complication. Apyeva bhavama. So we are going to become like this now. So we are calves and we are cowherd boys and we are going to become like this. And then suddenly they became 400 forms. So iti japyanta iva tadrishti gochara. So as if they were telling to Brahma like this, that look Brahma, what we are going to do now. You may have seen many magics, but this kind of magic turning a calf into Vishnu, that no one can do. So I can do that. You may have seen many magics, how people cut body into two pieces, change dress, do this, all types of things. But making somebody Vishnu, a calf, he says that I will do. So eva tadrishti gochara swayameva bhuvan swaprakashatvat. So in this way all of them became Vishnus. Because they were all Krishna anyway. So then it's not a big difficulty. So then in the next 3 slokas, or rather 4 slokas, there is just a description of these forms, how they appeared at that time. So Chaturbhuja, 4 hands. Because if without 4 hands you cannot be understood whether you are God or not God. Because 2 hands human beings have. So that's why even Pandrak was trying to put 2 more hands. So to God you have to have at least 4 hands, if not more. So therefore Chaturbhuja. And Shankha Chakra Gada Rajiva Panaya. So in the 4 hands he had a conch, a disc, a club and a lotus flower. Kiritina Kundalino Harino Vanmalina. And he had a diadem on his head, he has earrings and necklace and one mala, garland made with forest flowers. And Srivats Angadado Ratna Kambuka Kankana Panaya. He had this sign of Srivatsa on his right side, streak of golden hair, and had Angadado, his arms, he had bracelets, and Ratna Kambuka, he had a nice griva, neck, and wearing ornaments, and Kankana Panaya, in his Panaya hand he had what you call bracelet, yes, armlet and bracelets, and Nupurai Katkair Bhata, and he also had Nupur. Nupur is in the feet, and also you wear this katak, this ornament on your feet, also on the toes of the feet, that is, and also the katak is, I don't know if there is any name for that in English. No, what you put on the feet? Anklet. Okay. So I had bangles, anklets, wherever you can put. Right. From head to toe there were ornament. So you put on the back. Here you have a belt, girdle, rings, earrings, nose ring also. He didn't say it, but it's there. Krishna also has. So therefore Kati Sutra is there on your back. Anguliyaka is on the fingers, rings. So everywhere ornaments. That's how they are. Because that is the sign of Aishwarya.
I have a question. In this description it is said that the Srivatsa mark is in the right side of the chest, but sometimes we read that the Srivatsa mark is in the center of the chest. So
where did you read it?
In the description of Vishnu, in the creation.
Where I'm saying?
In Bhāgavatam, when Brahma is seeing Vishnu by first time when he's doing...
Okay, give me the reference.
It's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1. Don't remember the numbers, but it's when Brahma finally...
Just find out the exact sloka, then we'll see.
Okay, but in this sloka it says that the Srivatsa is in the right side of the chest.
That's what we are saying.
Okay.
No, the sloka is not saying that I'm saying, but you're saying that Bhagavatam says it's in the center. I want to know which sloka it says it's in the center.
These coughs and now these coughs and the means God was turned into Vishnu. My question is that simple question: why not they turn into Krishna? Why Vishnu?
So what will happen if they turn into Krishna?
Because on the basis of rasa, they are different.
What rasa?
Means Krishna, there is difference between Krishna and the Vishnu.
No, that is all right. But what difference would it make? How will it convince Brahma that he is Bhagavan? Brahma wanted to see that is he God. He was already seeing Krishna. So now more Krishna.
No, then more Krishna, then why not the Krishna, why Vishnu?
So I'm saying he wanted to see if this Krishna is God. And who is God? God is understood as Vishnu with 4 hands, that everybody knows. But 2-handed Krishna, if Krishna was God, there was no need to test him. If he understood that Krishna is God, why test him? But when he sees his 4-handed Vishnu, there is no need to test. That is standard form of God. There is no doubt about that. About 2-handed form, there is problem whether he is really God or not God. That's why Krishna, when he was born, to Devaki, why did he come in four-handed form? Just to convince them that I am here as God. And then he turned into two-handed. Because this is common understanding. If you read the Vedas or anywhere, it is described as four-handed Vishnu.
No,
So
Vishnu is okay, but the why not direct Krishna? Still I have the problem.
yeah, but you just want to argue or you want to understand? I am saying he did it because Brahma understands that Vishnu is God. And he does not understand that Krishna is God. So what would be the benefit if he held all turn into Krishna? That's what I want to know. You are insisting he should have become Krishna. Okay, what is the benefit?
Will be difference will be that Krishna is superior than Vishnu.
Yeah, but everywhere what is, I don't understand. Are you understanding why Brahma came here? Did he come to know that Krishna is superior? He doesn't even know that Krishna is God and you want to tell him that he is superior. Superior to whom? Brahma is not knowing that Krishna is God. That's what he wanted to see. So therefore he is showing him that you want to know who I am, this is what I am.
So turning into Vishnu is just according to the desire of the our level of understanding of the Brahma.
Otherwise what is he trying to do? He is also trying to tell everybody that I am God. And I am Supreme God because I can produce so many Vishnus. So that is also the point. So, yes.
So when this Aishwarya of Vishnu is described like ornament, why the garland is one mala? One mala is generally not that Aishwarya necklace.
So what do you want?
Gems or gold and like that.
Yeah, that is also there. But this is also there. I mean, how many gold do you want? He already said that every part of his body has got a golden ornament, from head to toe. So one mala is also Aishwarya. How many people put on one mala?
Maybe it gives the fragrance which the gems don't give.
That is there, but it's also beauty. I mean, beauty is not just with gold. It also has tulsi in it, which he likes. So, Sri Lakshmi Rekha Tadyuktani Vatsani Vakshamsi Yesam Teja. So the word Sri here in Sri Vatsa, he says it refers to a line which represents Lakshmi. So Vatsa, the word Vatsa also refers to the chest. So on his chest there is the mark of Sri, and of course because it's in plural, so all of them they had it. Yesham Teja. Angad Yukta Dosho Bhavo Yesham Teja. And his Angada, the arm, has this armlets. And Ratnam Kaustubhadi, Ratna here refers to the Kaustubh gem. Tadyukta Kambavaha Atishayoktya Trirekhankita Kanthayesham Teja. So, Kambu actually means conch, but here it refers to his neck, which is thick and has 3 lines. So that also signifies beauty. Kankana Yukta Paniyo Yesham Techatai. And they have kankana on their hands, bangles or whatever you call, bracelets. Katkai Padavalai. And katak is on the feet, anklets. Angre Mastakam Apurna Stulsi Navadamabhi Komalai Sarva Gatreshu Bhuri Punyavadarpitai. So bhuri punyavadarpitai sarvgatreshu komalai angri mastakapurna tulsi damdamati. So he was having also garland made from tulsi, which was very fresh and komal, soft, and the garland was from his head to feet, and this was offered to him by devotees. So bhuri punyani shravan kirtanadi bhajanani tadvata bhakta sahasrena arpitai. So these are the garlands which have been given to him by devotees. Bhuri punya literally means those who have great piety. So here piety is in the sense of devotional activities such as Shravan Kirtan, means devotees offered to him garland. So this was about his appearance, external appearance, means his dress, ornaments. Now the next verse describes how he physically was appearing, means bodily features, not what he has put on.
Yes, Babaji, just to say that, yes, you're right, it was Sanatana Goswami who says about the right part of the chest, and in Bhāgavatam always mention the chest, but only in the canto, in the 8th canto of Bhāgavatam, he say that it's in his bosom. So for me it's very good to know that it's not in the chest, because it says Indira, this line of Lakshmi is in the chest of Krishna in the center, but the Srivatsa mark is in the bosom of Vishnu, so right bosom. So thank
you. You should give me the reference.
Yes, this is here it says Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 8, 20, 32 and 33. It says that is in the bosom, not in the center, but in the bosom.
So that is the same thing.
Yes,
What is
yes.
bosom?
As Sanatana Goswami says that is in the right side. So you are wrong. You are right. I'm wrong. So thanks for that.
Okay. So Chandrika Vishadasmerai Sarunapanga Vikshitaihi Swakarthanima Raja Sattvabhyam Shrastrapalakaha. So he had a beautiful smile. Chandrika Vishada Smerai. Smera means smile. And the smile was as if the moonlight was coming. Moonlight, full moonlight is very pleasing. So like that pleasing smile, cooling. Chandrika Vishada Smerai. And Sarunapanga Vikshitai. And he was also looking side, as if side glance, apanga, with his reddish eyes. So the smile was like the moonlight and the glance was reddish. One was whitish in color, another was reddish in color. So therefore he compares this with Rajas and Sattva. So smile is compared with Sattva, which is for maintenance, Palaka, and Rajas is compared to creation. So therefore Srastri Palaka. So Rajaha Sattvabhyam Srastri Palaka. So they all appeared. Here it is not one in plural because there are many of them. So they all appeared with beautiful smiles and glances from their reddish eyes, which were compared to as Sattva and Raja for the purpose of maintenance and creation. And Swakarthanamiva, so for the sake of his own people or his devotees, as if they are creating desire in the mind of his devotees. So that is the creation. And then fulfilling them, that is the Sattva. So with this looks, he is creating the desire, and with his smile he is fulfilling it. That's the meaning. So Chandrikavat Vishadam Yatha Syat Tatha Smeryanta. So broad smile like the moonlight. So in this way they were appearing smiling. Iti Chandrika Vishada Smerani Mridu Pachake Tivat Samasa. So that's just a compound. Mridu Pachaka. Mridu Mridum Pachati or Mridu Iva Pachati iti Mridu Pachaka. So Aruna Pangena Saha Vartmanani Yani Sammukha Vikshitani Tai. And having reddish side glances standing in front of him. Tai Swakarthanam Anukampaniya Swabhakta Manorathanam Rajasatvabhyam Shrashti Palkaiva. So it appeared as if they are trying to fulfill or rather create and then trying to fulfill the wish of his devotees. That's how they appeared. Srashti Palkaiva. Vyadrishyamta Rajasa Rajaseva Arun Gunena Srashtaraiva Satveneva Vishadasmitena Palkaiva. So Rajaseva Aruna Gunena. So Rajas is compared to reddish in color. So that is the reddish color of his eyes. And Sattva is compared to white. Okay. So verse number 51. Atmadi stamba paryantair murti madbhi characharaihi nitya gita dinekarhai prithak prithak upashita. So then next which Brahma sees is that all these forms of Vishnu, they were being worshipped by everything personified from Brahma to the blade of grass. Atma means Brahma here. Atmadi stambha, stambha is grass, paryantai, murti madhvi, both moving and immoving. So those things like mountains, rivers, they also have their devatas. So they were all murti madhvi, they were all personified and worshipping. And nritya gitadi naikarhai, prithak prithak upashita. And they are worshipping all separately with dance and song and recitation of the mantras and so on. So Atmatra Brahma naikarhai anaikarhnai. Atma here means Brahma and naikarha means with various types of paraphernalia to worship. So that's what they appeared there, as if, not as if, but they were being worshipped. And Brahma saw that even Brahma was worshipping, and various types of Brahmas. So it will be described that Brahmas from other places were also called. So now there is little description who were all engaged in worship. So it says Animadyair Mahimabhir Ajadyabhir Vibhutibhi Chaturvinsti Bhistatvai Parita Mahedadibhi. So he was being worshipped by Anima, all these various types of siddhis, 8 types, Anima, Adyair Mahimabhir, and Ajadyabhir Vibhutibhi, and also by the Maya, various types, and Chaturvinsti Bhistatvai, and 24 tattvas of Sankhya, Parita Mahedadibhi. So all these elements also have their devatas and they were also worshipping. So there are 8 siddhis: Anima, Garima, Mahima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, and Vashitva. So these 8 siddhis, 9 types of nidhis, all they were present, personified in the 24 tattvas. So what are the 24 tattvas? Anybody can tell me? We have studied Sankhya. Okay, Narottam, tell the 24 tattvas.
So we have 5 elements, and then we have 5 senses, knowledge acquiring senses, then 5 active senses, that makes 15. Then we have manas, we have buddhi, we have ahankara, that makes 18.
6 more.
Yes, I'm trying to remember. 6 more.
Okay, where is Sandeep?
Babaji, prana. Panch prana.
You have studied Sankhya?
Studied Sankhya, Babaji.
It came there, Panch Prana? Sure?
Panch prana didn't come.
Then why are you making it up? So who else will try? Manu? You are looking very serious.
Should I try, Babu?
Yes.
Should I try?
Who is that? I don't see.
Babaji, it is Upendra Krishna.
Okay. Upendra ji, bolo.
Babaji, it is Mahat Tattva, Ahankar, Pan Buddhi, Panch Tanmatra, Panch, then Panch Karmendriya, Panch Jnanendriya, another set of 5 persons.
So everybody got it? No? 5 into 4 is 20. Simple, right? 5 Panch Mahabhutas, Panch Tanmatra, Panch Karmendriya, Panch Jnanendriya. This is easy. 20. Then we just make 4 more somehow, Ahankar is always there. There is nothing without Ahankar. Manas is there. Mahat Tattva is already written there. This is 23. Right? And then if you add Buddhi, then 24. If you don't want to have Buddhi, you can add Prakriti. Pradhana. Commentator says something more. So we have to know at least 24 tattvas.
Who is the 25th?
Or 25th.
Who is the 25th?
It's written here 24. Why you are bringing 25th now?
Krishna, isn't it?
Krishna is being worshipped. 25th is the Jiva. 26th is Krishna. So he says Mahimbhir Ashwaryair. So Mahimbhi, the word Animadhyair, Mahimbhir means Ashwarya. And Aja here means Maya. Aja also means Maya. And this is described 3 color Maya and Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Lohit Krishna, Shukla, Trivarna. तदाद्या भी शक्ति भी चतुर्विंशति भीरिति महत्त्व सूत्र तत्व और पार्थक्य विवक्षया. So now there is one more tattva which you may not know, that is called sutra. So you have, everybody has heard of Mahat Tattva, right? So Mahat Tattva is, then there is Ahankara. There is also sutra, which you generally don't hear. So sutra is the prana shakti. That is the kriya shakti. Mahat Tattva is the gyan shakti. That's why Mahat Tattva is related with buddhi. And actually in the traditional Sankhya, they don't have the buddhi word. It's only the manas. So therefore it says that Mahat Tattva Sutra Tattvayo Parthakya Vivakshaya. It says to differentiate Mahat Tattva and Sutra separately. Sometimes generally they are just considered as one. Sometimes separately. So because originally there is Prakriti, And Prakriti has got three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And then Prakriti, or also called Pradhana, undergoes transformation. So then you have Mahatattva, Sutra and Ahankara. So from Sattva is Mahatattva, from Rajas is Sutra, and from Tamas is Ahankara. And then from Ahankara come the other 21. So without Ahankara, they don't come. So Tattvair Jagat Karanai. So Tattva here means those which are the causal elements. They are the causes for creation. So Kala Swabhava Samskara Kama Karma Gunadibhi Swamahi Dhvasta Mahimbhir Murti Madbhir Upashita. So the whole Sankhya philosophy and creation and everything is just in two slokas described here. So he also saw that these were being worshipped by Kala, Swabhava, Samskara, very important, Kama, Karma and Guna. And Swamahim Dhvasta Mahim Bhi Murti Madbhir Upashita. So Brahma, he was Swamahim Dhvasta Mahim Bhi, means his, no, this is not to Brahma, but all these elements, their supremacy or their mahima or their glory was subdued by Vishnu. Therefore they were worshipping him. Murti Madbhir Upashita. So all these things also in their personal forms. So generally we think of time, nature, samskaras, karma, kama, all these things as impersonal, as some sort of energies. But in our Vaishnava philosophy, or actually Vedic philosophy itself, everything has a form. And this is very difficult to understand for people, and especially now because of the science, because they think it's all nature, energy. But behind nature is the person who owns the nature. Krishna says, Mam Maya Duratya. Everything works under me. That's what is being also described here. That this Vishnu form is being worshipped by all this, means they are all under his control. He is the supreme person. So all this what we call as nature is not working independently. That's why he says that Swamahima Dhvasta Mahimbhir, that their own independence, their own glory was subdued by him. So this is important principle to be understood, that everything is under his supremacy. Madbhayad vati vatoyam. Right? It is by my fear that the wind blows. And Madbhayat varsti Indra. Indra brings rain by my fear. And Agnir Dhati, Mrityu Dhavati Panchama. So all these things happen by Bhayat, means by under his control. It's not that they are scared and they are running around. Just a way of saying that they are not independent. Nothing is independent. So even when we see things like lightning is happening, and in India worship was done, still being done for rivers and mountains and trees, because they all have their devata. This is their adhibhautik form. This is the gross form, but there is also adhidevik form. There is also devatas behind it, and that is what is being described here. So it's important to keep this in mind. And then the whole philosophy of worship and puja comes, because the puja is to the person behind the visible form. So just yesterday,
Babaji,
yes.
Adi Devic form is their presiding deity, and like river is river, that is Adi Bhautik. What will be the Adhyatmic form?
And they all have Atma in them.
Okay, that's considered Adhyatmic. Okay, thank you.
Because they are also persons, means they are also living beings having their self. So just little digression just on this point, that I don't know, you may have heard the name of what is his name, one who plays Sehnai, Purushottam Prabhu, what is his name, who died recently?
Bismillah Khan.
Bismillah Khan. So Bismillah Khan was a famous Sehnai player from Banaras. And yesterday I met one of my teacher after 45 years from IIT. So he was also into music, and he made an organization and he is very dedicated to that. It is called SPICMACAY, SPICMACAY, which basically means Society for the Promotion of Music among the Youth. And he has done really very big work spreading Indian classical music. He goes to the schools, he invites big musicians play. And yesterday I met him. He is doing 5,000 programs in 1 year. He has got 300 centers, and everything is done by volunteers. So he came here and we spoke almost 2 hours, remembering the old days. So when I was a student, somehow, I don't know why, but we had good friendship, although in college there's nothing like that. And at that time he was learning music himself from famous Dagar brothers who were famous for Dhrupad style. And he asked me to, he used to go and learn, and I was also teaching their daughter, but for some reason he was not able to go. Then he asked me that can I go and teach. So, and I have been to his house also. Once one professor came from America, famous Marcel Notes, and he asked me to pick up in those days, Still remember, that is the probably first time I went to airport and take care of him. So he was, why I'm saying is that he was saying that he has met all these big people. He did his PhD from Columbia University, and once somebody was performing musical program there in New York, and he just happened to go there. He was a complete modern guy from IIT. He also studied from IIT, his graduation, then did his PhD. And when he heard the music, he said, when I came out, I was floating, literally, as if I was not walking on the ground. And then his heart was captivated by music, Indian classical music. Otherwise, he was into Western music. He said, I was even singing Western music. So he says that he met this Bismillah Khan in Banaras to invite him for some program, and they were just talking, and this Bismillah Khan is a very simple guy, he was just in his underwear sitting on a simple cot outside. And he said, Bismillah Khan was saying that, he was talking in Hindi, that one day I went to Ganga, because Banaras is on the river of Ganga. Bismillah Khan, although Muslim, but he is very devoted person. He would also go to Saraswati temple, not go inside but from outside, give prayers. I have heard him speak on that. So he says, I was playing my Sehnai to the Ganga river, and I was completely absorbed, and suddenly Ganga appeared. He says, I saw the Ganga appeared from the river and said, that was a beautiful note you played. And then she disappeared. And he said that when Bismillah Khan was saying this, he was just in, he says his face was completely different when he said this to me. So naturally he had an experience of this. So this is to say that even in this time and age, some people have had that kind of experience that these personalities do exist. So when we know that Bhishma is son of Ganga, it is not just a myth, it's a fact. So that's what is being described here. Kala Swabhava Samskara Kama Karma Gunadhibhi Swamahima Dhvasta Mahimbhir Murti Madbhir Upashita. So all these things personified, they were worshipping. And this is witnessed by Brahma. So na chaitat sarvam bhagavata maya darshitam iti mantavyam. So he says that one should not think that, I went to the next verse. So kaladibhischa tat sahakari bhi. So kala, so here kala and then this kala, swabhava, karma, these are all helpers of time. Because Bhāgavatam says that guna vyatikara kala. How is kala defined? So kala is that which is guna vyatikara, which brings a transformation in time, in the gunas of Prakriti. So we have Prakriti, and then when Vishnu glances at Prakriti, so that is how he starts the time or the influence of time on Prakriti before when the creation happens. So that is the beginning. That's what you can actually call as a Big Bang, truly speaking, when his glance. That's why his glance also here was compared to Srishti. Remember that his smile was like blessing and his glance was compared to Rajas, which is needed for creation. So then time acts on the gunas. And then gunas, they start changing. How the change happens? According to their swabhava. So that's why kala, the next thing which comes is swabhava. Because transformation happens differently in different things. So then the swabhava comes into play. So according to the swabhava, and how the swabhava is going to transform, because there may be 5 things, they have the same swabhava. But then there are samskaras, individuality comes into play because of that. Then according to the samskara, and then among the samskaras there are thousands of samskaras are lying. So which samskara is going to become activated? According to the kama, means the wish, the desire, which is most prominent. And that is going to manifest as karma. And then again gunas will come into play. So this is how this whole the row of action happens in creation. So this is how you have to see how the universe is functioning. So there is Vishnu who is invisible, and so we only talk about, the science only deals with this kala and swabhava and all that, nature of objects, etc. About samskaras they don't know much. But this is there. So kala karma swabhavasya dravya karmasya kalasya swabhava jiva evacha vasudevat prathak bhinnam nanyo artha asti tatvatah. So this is also described. So there is dravya karma cha kalasya swabhava and jiva, and this is all manifestation of Vasudeva. There is nothing else. So now we saw here that it is Krishna only who manifested all that. So he says kaladibhischa tat sahakari bhi tatra swabhava parinam hetu. So some swabhava is the parinam hetu, the way it is going to have parinam or transformation. Samskara udbodhaka. Samskara is that which get triggered, and the desire will come from that kama. Swamahi dhvasta mahimbhir bhagwan mahimna tiraskrit swatantre. So none of these things have independence. So that's why Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Means it is under his control. Although we think we have independence and we are doing things by my gyan, my knowledge, my desire, but ultimately it is under his supervision. He is the big boss. So in the next he is going to describe the characteristic of these forms. That will do tomorrow if there is any question to be asked.
Already, Maharaj? So this was described that how this karma happens through first this. So is this the desire of the jiva, or like the jiva desires and then this transformation happens, or like these are all worshipping Vishnu form? I'm not able to understand the karma part and worshipping of Vishnu form.
No, here there is a deity of karma and they are all worshipping. There is a deity of Swabhava, there is a deity of Kama, there is a deity of Kala. In their personified form they are worshipping. That's all it is describing. Okay. Yes.
I have a question. So in Krishna's Sundar, Jiva Goswami referred to this, I don't know the exact words, but this topic as a linga for Krishna's to Bhagavan's son, that Krishna is supreme because he manifested Vishnu Murtis. The question is that I'm wondering if this also logic can be, how well this logic can be applied in the case of Mahaprabhu. So now just as Krishna displayed Vishnu Murtis, Mahaprabhu displayed his form as Sri Krishna. Now, does it mean that somehow Mahaprabhu's form is somehow more than Shri Krishna because he displayed his form as Krishna, but Krishna did not display himself as Mahaprabhu?
So how do you know that Krishna did not display his form as Mahaprabhu?
No, we don't know in the dictionary.
So why are you assuming? I mean, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, everywhere it is written that Krishna is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and now you are throwing the logic back. You have heard Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Yes, yes.
So time and again it is, this is the most basic knowledge that it is Krishna who came as Mahaprabhu. Anarpit charim charada kalau. Any other question? Yeah.
I would like to understand these 3 lines on the neck. You also hear of them in the Damodarashtakam. Are these lines horizontal and this kind of the, skin, fat, whatever here that makes the line when you move, or is it vertical?
No.
Some kind of
round.
ornament?
Round lines. Sometimes you see some people have that. If you have nice neck and well fed, then you can see that.
Okay, but it's somehow in a beautiful way, not like bodybuilder type of.
Yeah, it's also considered as sign of beauty.
I have another question related to the body of the Supreme Lord, which is about the eyes. Many times I hear this, and I read it also when I was searching the quote about this reddish, but the reddish is in the pupil, in the iris, or in the...
Yeah, in the side. Where you have whitish, he has reddish there. Okay.